we are going to do a quick review of the primary cells of bone tissue, and we're going to also do a quick overview of the osteon and bone tissue in general. So we have 4 primary cells in bone tissue that we need to review. We have osteogenic cells. Now, osteogenic cells are the stem cells, kind of the precursor cells. They can develop into different types of cells. One which they will develop into are osteoblasts. These are bone building cells, so they're going to start developing that matrix and creating bone. But after a while, they kind of create matrix and back themselves into a corner where they end up getting trapped. When they mature and are stuck in the matrix, this is when they become osteocytes. So these are mature osteoblasts. And they really are helping with maintaining homeostasis of bone. So we have osteoblasts, which are builders, and then osteocytes, which are going to help. They're still in the bone tissue, they're mature osteoblasts, and they're going to help maintain the homeostasis of bone. Our 4th type are osteoclasts. These do not arise from our osteogenic cells. They arise from other stem cells that there's about 4 or 5 of them that kind of merge together to form one big cell. And osteoclasts are the cells that break down bone. They're going to dissolve bone. And why this is important, why do you need dissolvers? Well, bone responds in one of 2 ways to a stress. It either builds it up or it breaks it down. So you need to have these complementary antagonists, one to build up and one to break down. Also one to pull out calcium out of the blood and store it into bone. And then one to, as it's breaking down the matrix, is going to release calcium. So as osteoblasts are building matrix, calcium's being pulled out. As osteoclasts are breaking down bone tissue and matrix, they're going to put that calcium back in the blood. So we have our 4 different types: osteogenic cells, osteoblasts, osteocytes, and osteoclasts. Bone has 2 tissue types. We have our compact and our spongy. Our compact is recognizable by its osteons, and we're going to draw those in a minute. And our spongy is a network of this lattice-like spicules coming out called trabeculae. And it makes it look like a sponge, and so that's how it gets its name. And we really see spongy bone. It's around the marrow cavities, it's up in the epiphyses, and it really helps to disperse lines of stress. So as our body is dispersing stress down, our trabeculae allow it to disperse further so we can carry stress better. Our compact bone can really take heavy pressure. This is kind of our load-bearing bone. All bones have both types. All bones have both spongy and compact. Spongy, you're going to find more in the middle. You will find it in the middle, and then our compact is going to be on the outsides, kind of like an Oreo cookie, where you have spongy in the middle, like our cream filling, and our compact would be the chocolate cookie on the outside. So let's take a look at our osteon. An osteon, my marker to work, is a central canal, sometimes called a Haversian canal, and it's concentric rings. So these rings of matrix along the canal. And inside the canal, that's where you're going to find your blood vessels and nerves and all that good stuff. The rings are made up of your matrix, so that hard matrix that's being formed. Along the edge of these rings themselves are called lamellae. And then along the edges here, you're going to find these little tiny cavities. And this is where you're going to find your osteocytes, those mature cells. And these are our lacunae. They're little cavities along the rings where you're going to find your osteocytes. These also have these nice little branches out coming off of them that allow, it looks like little wispy hairs, and this allows for the osteocytes within them to communicate to other osteocytes. And these are our canaliculae. So this is our osteon. This is found in compact bone. This is a signature to compact bone. Spongy bone also will have the concentric rings, but they don't need the Haversian canal because they're located closer to the marrow and the nutrients and the blood supply. So they don't need this central canal. So they can have these ring structures, but not in the form of an osteon with a central canal. So central canals with our rings, here are osteons. These are signature to compact bone. So this is how you can visually distinguish compact bone from spongy when you're taking a histological slide. So what we see in labs. In that tree ring structure, you're looking at a bunch of osteons.